People think just because colonialism ended, so-called ended on paper, and these so-called countries left, Africans, and countries were made, they had their flag, national anthem, and all that. They thought that's when colonialism, they thought that's when countries in Africa stopped being colonized. They thought that's when countries in Africa stopped being colonized. So why is it right now all these countries in Africa are separating themselves from France? If it all ended when the so-called left and they claim these countries won their independence, they weren't colonized no more. So why are they still doing all this? They were colonized this whole time. If you look at even countries like Jamaica, that's not a country. I don't even think Canada is a country. A lot of these so-called countries in the Caribbean, they're not even countries. They're not even countries. It's funny when you start realizing majority of the world is still colonized. It's like there's this perception that we're in 2025, we're in the future and all that. We're not in the future, bro. There was never no future, bro. There's this perception that people think like, oh nah, that's the old way of thinking. That's back in the days. That's how people used to think. Nobody thinks like that now. That's a lie, bro. But it's 2025 and there's still so-called countries that's not countries. They're still colonized. Jamaica is still colonized, bro. Look at Vybz Kartel. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be free. That's besides the point. I'm just trying to make a point. The Jamaican government didn't want to necessarily free him. The UK came and override them. Think about that, bro. That means Jamaica is still colonized, bro. Just think about that. That means Jamaica is still colonized, bro. That's what that means, bro. It's the same with Canada. And if you look at a lot of these islands in Asia, America owned most of those islands. Puerto Rico is not really a country. It's colonized by America, bro. You realize that, bro. Nothing changed, bro. It's just this perception where people think we're in the future. We're not in the future, bro. Everything is the same as it was. It's the same system. Everything is the same as it was. Nothing changed, bro. People think because they got phones, there's technology and all that, they really believe we're in the future, bro. But that's just in movies, bro. In reality, bro, there is no future. There was never no future we was in. But it's the same thing we've been in. The same thing we're still in, bro. These countries they're all still colonized. Everywhere that was colonized before is still colonized now, bro. That's a fact. That's a real fact. Everywhere that was colonized was still colonized. It's still colonized now. It's the same thing. That's why you see a lot of these countries in Africa, they're still fighting to be free, bro. And these are countries who claim they celebrate 50 years of independence, 60 years of independence, some of them 70 years of independence, and they're still fighting to have their own currency. You're never independent. You can't be celebrating your independence and at the same time you're fighting a war to get out of the shackles of the people who you claim you got your independence from. What independence? You don't have no independence. You were never independent. It's all a facade just to make people think we're advancing. But we're not advancing as no human race, bro. We're going backwards. We've been going backwards. And every time we do try to advance, there's movements they start some type of movements to make sure to keep everything either how it is or move it back to the past, bro. To make sure we don't advance as a human race, bro. It's something that has never happened. We're not advancing. We've never advanced, bro. They do everything in their power to hold everybody back and hold everything back and keep things how it is, bro. Think about it. Every time something forward thinking comes or someone who's forward thinking comes with ideas or anything that's forward thinking, bro, they stop that shit, bro, immediately. With force. It's war. What does that mean? There should be no advancement, bro. We're not allowed to advance as a human race. We're not allowed to. It's illegal to advance as a human race, bro. This is a fact. It's a fact. It's something that you're not allowed to do, bro. Except for on a TV show. Oh, you can advance as far. Look at all these TV shows they make. You think it's the future. And that's the thing with media, bro.